Hello and welcome back to a new video. So I'm going to press Control Space to locate our amenities. So I'm gonna go to Blueprint, System, Points of Interest, and now we will discuss the amenities. So let's go back to our project here actually, since we started here, and I'm gonna select any of POI, press Control B to locate the folder, and now I can click and drag, and this will represent our amenities POI. From first glance, you will notice that they are almost identical, and in a way they are. The amenities, the surroundings, there are just slight small differences in between. For example, they both use different category because they are supposed to be different, and there is small quality of life change here. It's like called widget screen scale, and the default value is set to 1. I will show you how this looks if it's not set to 1. Sometimes you have, like in the project here, amenities that are really close to each other and they can overlap. So actually I can show you now. I'm gonna click on play and I can go to amenities. Here you can see that the size, they look fine except for these two. They are very close to each other, but it's not annoying, okay? Unless you get very close, now they are fine. But if you go far, like so, they will also disappear, okay? Now, these are smaller than this, and that's because of the scale. So if you select all these here and take a look at the scale, it's set to 0.6. So if I set this to 1, and let's click on play, let's click on amenities, you will see that they are overlapping each other in not really nice way. And that's normal behavior because these points of interest are really close to each other. So I figured out, okay, then if we have such a scenario where we have commercial shops really close to each other, then we can set the widget screen scale to a lower value. So in this scenario it's 0.6. When I click on play and go to surroundings, amenities, you can see, okay, they look fine in terms of scale. So these are the same as surroundings. When you click on any one of these, it will show us a panel, and that panel can be populated with data. So let's go here, and by default, it will select the first category. It's health and wellness. If you want to expand on these categories, you can press Control Space, and you can go to enums, and you can find POI, amenities, and you can add all the types of amenities you want for your own project, or remove some of these amenities if you don't want them. Now I'm going to remove these, and maybe just we can keep one as an example, okay? And I can save it. Now I will make a duplication here, and I will select example, and I will click on play, and I will click now on amenities. Now we have this button. Before we add the amenities, we didn't have them. So real quick to show you, I'm gonna remove these, click, we don't have amenities. Bring them back, click, and now we have amenities. Okay, click. Here we see our list, health and wellness, and then the other list, example. And when you click on it, it will activate the POI. And by activation, there are two things usually happens. First of all is the user interface, or the panel here, it will appear if it's closed. And the second one is teleporting the location of the pan of the camera. So these are the things that happen. Now let's click on this. Here we have amenity information. So this is very similar to the surroundings information. We have a main title, description, an icon. So we have these icons. You can set an icon, thumbnail, a gallery, and a tint color. So let's say I want to tint the label color of this amenity to reddish pink. You can do that from here. So click amenities, click here. You can see now this is tinted with the color we chose, and this is without tint. So that's regarding the information. We also have the ability to add a secondary text. So let's say text, and let's say secondary. Click on play, click on amenities, click here. You will see you have a secondary text. This is one of the differences from the surroundings, is the ability to add a secondary text if you need to. Here without, and this here with. And in addition to this, we also have hide actor in editor. Actually, this is important. I need to show you on the amenities and the units. So if I open my project here, and if you press on G, these will all disappear. The surroundings, it's fine, I kept it, but for the units and for the amenities, I made them disappear. And that is an option that we have here. Hide in the editor, okay? Hide actor in editor. If this is set to false, the actor will always be visible. But if we set it to true, so now press G, it's always visible. Now I'm gonna select it and I'm gonna set this to true. It will be invisible in the editor, but it will not be invisible when we are in the game mode. And I thought this is important because if I'm working on my project and I press G, I don't want to see these. They can be slightly sometimes annoying to work with. And that's also one of the reasons I also implemented this fade effect. So now you know, when you press G, you can hide specific actors in the editor. So in addition to that, we have the camera settings, the target arm length. You can set the target arm length, the rotation on the pitch or Y axis, and the rotation on the Z axis, which is the yaw. So I'm gonna set this back to minus 45 and reset this to its default value. Let's say 340, for example. So just like other points of interest, we have mesh scale. So if you want to make this bigger, you can. We have the mesh visibility in game and in editor. If you don't want the mesh to be visible, you just want for the label to be visible, you can do that as well. So let me click on point 4. Here we just see the label, not the mesh anymore. So that's regarding the mesh visibility. If you have the mesh visible, you can set its color to whatever color you like, and the opacity. If you want this to be more opaque or more translucent, you can set that as well from here. And you have the ability to set a custom mesh. So here are meshes that I imported from 3ds Max. I can show you in the units how we can import and set meshes, because here it's very easy to look at and understand. It's just a little volume. But when it comes to units, maybe you want more control. So we will take a look in the next lesson on the units and how to work with them. And finally, we have the widget settings as we discussed earlier in the lesson and the last lesson. We have the height offset. We learned about this. We have the min and the max distance. So when will the label will be visible or invisible? And we have the scale. I adjusted the scale. So we have these settings and basically that's it. So what I want you to do is to experiment with both actors, the amenities, the surroundings, experiment with the settings, and if you have any limitations, if you have any questions, any problems, just let me know. And as always, I really hope you found this lesson useful. Thank you so much for watching. Stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.